This is the Retro Smash Gaming Podcast. Wherever you are, wherever you may be listening, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I am Weldy Time, your humble co-host, the what did I call myself? The Sasha Panza character of this podcast. That's a Don Quixote joke.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that a few episodes ago.
Yes, and I still kind of, yeah. So Sasha Panza here, and the gentleman sitting across from me, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who's forgotten more than you'll ever forget. He is Eric.
What's up?
What's going on?
How's it going, man?
And nothing much. What have you been up to?
Oh, just playing a few games that we're going to record episodes on here next.
Yes, sames. But first things first, everybody's favorite holiday is coming up.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Is that everybody's favorite?
Well, I don't know. I feel like the typical American jumps straight from, from Halloween to Christmas. But I'm like, no, you got a full day of football, family, friends, food, all the other F words.
Dude, that's funny because my wife was talking about hanging up Christmas lights and decorations and shit.
Oh, God.
I'm like, no, we have Thanksgiving first and then you do it.
Exactly, right? Like, everybody, there's people that I'm driving through and they have their trees up in their living rooms. Don't ask why I'm looking into people's houses. But they have their Christmas trees up already. I'm like, why? You have Turkey Day coming up. All the stuffings.
You know, she made a good point, though. She's like, I'll hang up the Christmas lights now and we don't have to turn them on until after Thanksgiving. But that way, when I hang them up, it's not fucking freezing cold outside.
It's not going to be really freezing cold at the end of November, though. At least not around here. I mean, it may be 5 to 10 degrees cooler, but how long are you guys taking to hang up Christmas lights? Are you fucking Clark Griswold?
Yeah. That's a good point. But yeah, I don't want to hang them up now. Either way, so we're probably going to hang them up now.
I was going to say, yeah, it's always the ongoing joke, if my wife wants to do it and I don't want to do it, we're going to compromise and we're probably going to do it now.
So what are we talking about in this episode?
We are talking about games or things in games we are thankful for.
Yeah, I think we kind of got confused with each other. Because I said games at first. Then you're like, well, why don't we do things?
And then you ended up doing things and I ended up doing games.
Yep. So is your list full of games?
It actually is, but it's kind of like a little hybrid. Like all the games I'm thankful for have a good story behind it.
Okay.
So, I mean, one of those this going to be very kind of funny, kind of heartfelt kind of episode. Because I'm like, I remember playing this game when I was a little Weldy Time.
Yeah, so I got nothing but things. No games, just things.
And I'm sure I'll come up with a couple things.
You don't have your list made?
I have my list of games, but I do have another list while you're talking about it. And I have the list of questions I'm going to ask you about the game.
Oh, okay. Jumping into this?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Hell yeah, we're gonna jump right in. Do we get? Oh, that's right. You get your theme music. Since we're jumping right in, normally I give some kind of big sweeping intro, but since I'm terrible at sequencing, we're just jumping right in. Is it this or is it that? Eric has to choose. It's this or that. Are you ready, sir?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Your category today. We're gonna kind of scrape your brain a little bit. Normally, I've been asking you kind of funny this or dats. Like I had one that was like Pokémon or prescription drugs, or one that was like a car in GTA 4 or a member of the 85 Bears, things that are very uncorrelated, I guess. I'm going to scrape your brain a little bit with this next game because we have both played the OG Pokemon games, which by the way, did you have red or blue?
I had red.
You had red. I had blue. Who's your starter?
Charizard or what's
oh my god, I was gonna
not
say
Charizard. Charmander.
If you're starting with Charizard, you got a whole different fucking game
what
than I did.
What the fuck is it? Charmeleon?
Yeah,
I'm a shitty Pokemon fan.
Well, I'm like the OG. Anything past 2, anything past Gen 2, I'm like, who the hell are these things?
Yeah, that anything past Gen 1, I'm like, who the hell are these things?
Well, I had Pokemon Gold. Because of course that was the next in line, so that was the one thing I asked for Christmas a few years later, and I played that a little bit. I didn't get as much into that as I did into Blue, because I beat Blue probably half dozen times as a kid. I think I killed my dad's original Game Boy. Sorry, Dad. And I think I probably should have bought stock in Duracell, because I think between that and my Walkman, I think I probably went through a pack of batteries every 2 weeks.
Well, that's nothing compared to Game Gear.
Oh,
I had one of
God.
those, man.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
You never told me you had a Game Gear.
I'm telling you now.
Well, psych, motherfucker, I got one now.
Yeah, I don't remember playing it too much, honestly. But yeah, it was fun. Enjoyed it. Good graphics, fucking colorful screen.
Only lasted like 30 minutes.
Yup.
There it was.
That's probably why I didn't play it too much.
That's probably why nobody played it much. But anyway, so we're going to scrape your brain a little bit because you had Pokemon Red. I think these are the same because I just looked it up. So I got your 7 gym leaders here. Like I said, we're going to pick your brain as opposed to just being like a blind guess. I'm going to see how much you remember. I'm going to give you the
Dude, I think
trainer.
probably do better just guessing because I don't
Well,
remember shit.
You'll get 2 guesses. Basically, what's going to happen is I have your 7 gym leaders here, and I'm going to see if you remember what Pokemon they had.
Oh God.
I'll give you the first 2, and then I'll let you choose the other one. Okay, so let's do this. Number 1, Lieutenant Surge in Vermilion City. He had a Pikachu, a Raichu, and what other Pokemon? Was it a level 20 Electabuzz or a level 21 Voltorb?
Okay, so I was thinking Surge, so it's got to be something, like
Electrical. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be the first one you said. But then you said another electric thing, so I'm like, I'm fucked.
That's
Don't tell me that's the point.
That's the point of this. God damn it! Is this thing on? That's the point of the game.
Okay. Are they all going to be multiple choice?
Yes, they're all multiple choice.
thank God.
I'm not going to make you. I'm not that hideous and awful of a friend. just most of the part.
What was the second one you said?
Your choices are a level 20 Electabuzz or a level 21 Voltorb.
Let's go with the Voltorb.
And you would be correct.
Nice.
1 for 1. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Number 2, Erica.
Venusaur?
In Celadon City. No spoilers. No spoilers. Erica in Celadon City had a Tangela. Is it Tangela or Tangela?
I have no idea.
I think it's Tangela because it looks like a tangled like vines and stuff.
Dude, we're going to show how stupid I am at Pokemon, so you should not ask me questions about which one is it.
And that is exactly why I'm asking you questions about which one is it, because I want to show off your
stupidity.
I would like to showcase your stupidity. Yes.
Okay, let's
All right.
do this.
Erica had a Tangela. Erica had a Victory Bell. And Erica also had a Vileplume or B, an Ivysaur.
Okay, so me and my sister played Pokemon, the cards.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have an amazing collection, by the way.
Well, no, they are hers.
She has an amazing collection, by the way.
And I have been selling them on eBay for her.
Ooh.
And I sold Erica's Venusaur, so I'm going to guess it's Ivysaur.
You would actually be wrong.
Oh.
In the game, she has a level 29 Vileplume.
Oh, well, fuck that.
Like I say, I'm just going by what's in the game. And if you are in, well, actually,
Yeah, could we get a fact check on this, please?
God, no, because there's not a crowd that I think I hate more on the internet than the well, actually.
Yeah.
They push up their glasses and, well, actually, in the anime, Erica had a Venusaur that, that she used primarily when she wasn't using Vileplume because the Venusaur had Vine Whip, and the Vine Whip was a superior move, and blah, blah, blah.
I would say that there's probably someone out there doing that while they're listening to this, but I just don't think we have enough listeners to hit that.
So we're going to alienate one of our 5 listeners.
Yeah, maybe.
We're alienating 20% of our base. Wonderful. Great.
Yeah, if you're the person out there, we're sorry.
No, we're not sorry.
Yeah, fuck you.
I thought you were going to argue with me on that one. Wow, you switched gears that quick.
Sorry.
No, not sorry.
Not sorry.
All right. Number 3. So you're 1 for 2. All right. Number 3, Sabrina in Saffron City. She had a Mr. Mime, a Kadabra, and an Alakazam right there. That's a fucking bananas lineup.
Is it?
Dude,
I'll take your word for it.
Alakazam is like the most broken Gen 1 character in Pokemon Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't outspeed him.
Mm-mm.
It's nuts.
If I just and then I'll make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Right. Speed, yeah.
Yep, speed.
Sabrina also had A, Venomoth, or B, a Jinx.
Jinx is a psychic Pokemon, and I think the rest are, so I'm going to go Jinx. But the other one's probably fucking psychic, too.
A Venomoth, yes. A Venomoth is correct. But you guessed Jinx, so you are incorrect.
Ah. What's so I was thinking Sabrina the Teenage Witch. What's the cat's name?
Oh God. Max?
Is that it?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Hold on, we're on a live podcast show, so we're gonna outsource our answers. What was the name of the cat on Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Wait, hold on, and I'm not gonna look at the answer because I know it's something like magic related, like Merlin. Is it Merlin?
It's not Merlin.
Salem.
Salem, yeah, that makes sense.
Which, dang it, I know it was something magic related, which is
not though.
Which is making me wonder
because
why
there
I guessed
weren't
Max.
real witches.
Yeah,
in Salem.
I don't know if they were witches. I think they were just women that had independent thought, and men were just terrified of them. That's how Salem worked in the 1600s.
Now, I think it was something to do with people were tripping balls, and they thought that like these women were doing witchcraft on them, but in reality, there was, I want to say, like some kind of fungus growing on the crops.
There was a fungus among us,
and they were like consuming them, then fucking tripping balls from it.
Where is this fungus? Because this sounds like a fantastic time. Not burning people at the stake, but just tripping balls on fungus.
I'm sure I got something in there wrong. Like I'm 100% sure, but it was something along those lines.
You just sold it to me like it was 100% real, so I'm like, all right, I'll take your word for it.
Then it's 100% real. If
Wonderful.
It's 100% real to you, then it's 100% real.
You're the walking Wikipedia over here.
God, but like got a 404 page on Pokemon though.
You're 1 for 3, so you got time. You guys had to make a comeback, but yeah, okay. Because I thought it was just like any woman that like had an independent thought or something like that. Like, some were probably trying to practice like real witchcraft, because the whole story was they were going to burn them at the stake, and if they were still alive, they were witches, and if they died, then they weren't witches, but it was like too late, and they're just like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, it's same with they would throw them in the water,
right?
And if they would float, they were witches, but
and then they would,
as you know, people don't fucking float,
well,
so they all sank.
I float. I'm very fatty. I don't sink very well. Speaking of sinking, you're 1 for 3, but God. you gotta make a comeback. Number 4, Koga. In Fuchsia City he is probably my favorite gym leader, because there is nothing like a good poison type run.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing poison type runs.
Mm-hmm.
In Pokemon Blue, they're great.
Yeah, they are great.
They are. Yes, Grandma, they are great.
Yup.
Koga had a coughing.
Uh-huh.
Koga had a muck.
Mm-hmm.
And Koga had A, Grimer, or B, a wheezing.
Damn it. Okay. Had a Pokemon card, Koga's Beedrill. I was hoping that was one of them.
Ooh.
But it's not. So, isn't like coughing, that like the wheezing is an evolution of the coughing?
Yes.
Let's go that one.
Wheezing?
Yeah.
Well, then you're 2 for 4. Well done. Had a wheezing. For some reason, he didn't want to take my favorite Pokemon, a Grimer.
Why is that your favorite?
I don't know. Like, us big, flobby, flappy, trashy boys gotta stick together, you know? Yep. It's like I like Snorlaxes too. Us big, pudgy, sleepy guys gotta stick together, you know?
Talk about, like, pudgy guys, a little off subject here, but so my wife and I have been watching movies recently, a lot of movies, because she is kind of uncultured.
I think you said that last time. How is that going, by the way?
It's going good. And we watched Tommy Boy the other day. And she liked it.
No. She's never seen it before?
No.
Oh.
So what have we watched? We've watched Alien, Jaws, Die Hard, Tommy Boy, Raising Arizona, and Fight Club.
Ooh.
And we are working our way through The Big Lebowski right now.
And you said you're gonna make her watch The Godfather too, right?
All of them, not
all
just
of
the
them,
second
not
one.
not just the first and second one. And the
Well, you said Godfather too, so no, she's gonna watch
I meant
all
The
of them.
Godfather as well.
I know.
You're.
Yes, we're gonna watch. you have to watch all of them, like, because like the second one's the best, but you need to watch the first one to watch the second one,
right?
But then if you're 2/3 the way through, like, just fucking watch the third one.
Wasn't the third one like a dumpster fire though? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Well,
it's been like at least 10 years since I watched all the Godfathers.
It is not well regarded, but I think some of it is that, like, The Godfather Part 2 was iconic. So when you follow a movie like that, like, it's not going to live up to its predecessor.
Well, that's fair.
But yeah, I think it was a dumpster fire.
Can can I add a couple movies? You got to make sure. I'm gonna add a trio of movies. You got to make her watch.
Yeah, I got a list on my phone.
You got to make her watch Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like there's definitely got to be some Tarantino movies in there,
right?
But I'm scared to pull the trigger on those too soon.
Really?
But Pulp Fiction is on my list, and I don't know which Tarantino to start with.
I think Pulp Fiction is a good place to start because I
think it is.
If you watch Kill Bill 1, you gotta watch Kill Bill 2.
Sure.
Reservoir Dogs was great.
Yep.
Jackie Brown's out there.
I don't.
I mean, you could even go Django Unchained, but that's more recent. Are you going like classic movies or?
Yes and no.
Gotcha.
Like yes, definitely classics, but like just any Tarantino movie, like you got to watch.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Django Unchained. Just because they were more recent. With Reservoir Dogs, like I'm scared to show her movies like that because I want to show her Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, The Godfathers, Casino, Goodfellas, like all those. But I'm not sure how much she's going to be into those. So I want to kind of like slow play it a little bit.
Pulp Fiction's one you got to watch twice. If you've never seen Pulp Fiction for the first time, it's the one you got to watch twice just because of the convoluted story a little bit. So I could see like Casino being a good starter.
Yeah. I just don't know how much she's going to be into those like mafia style, movies.
So it's just the mafia style. It's not like the, action kind of suspense kind of movies. So you wouldn't make her watch my second suggestion, which would be Silence of the Lambs.
No, we're going to watch that. No, seriously, like any classic movie, I think she needs to watch.
Good.
And we're going to watch them all. Like The Casino, The Godfather, Goodfellas. Like we're going to get there.
Are you going to watch Tombstone?
Maybe. Yeah.
Great movie. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is probably the most underrated actor in Hollywood. Val Kilmer was great. He was great in Tombstone. He was great in Heat. He was great in the Batman movies. He was great in Top Gun.
We watched Dark Knight too.
Oh, you did say, I think you remember saying you watched Dark Knight.
Yeah. She really liked that one. So yeah, I mean, I think like The Godfather, and movies like that, they are a lot more slow. And I'm scared of losing her attention with that because she didn't mind the action movies. She liked Dark Knight. She liked Die Hard.
So she'd like Jurassic Park then, which would be my third suggestion.
Again, that's on my list.
You like how I worked through my entire list as you were talking?
Pulp Fiction, Jurassic Park. Those both came out in 94.
Yes, 94 was a huge year for movies.
There was another movie that was in theaters at the same time. Lion King?
Shawshank.
That's
Lion King. Forrest Gump.
Yep. Damn.
Was Braveheart late 94 or was that all 95?
No, I think that was 95. Also, Green Day's Dookie album was 94.
Weren't they going to call that movie? They were going to call that album like Giant Dookie or something. I think they were going to call that album like Giant Dookie, but I think the record label made him change it just to Dookie, something like that.
All right.
Speaking of Dookie, you're 2 for 4 right now, but you got time to come back in the
game. It's like half a Dookie.
Half a Dookie. There you go. That's our Green Day cover band, Half a Dookie. All right, number 5, Blaine, Cinnabar Island Jim, the Fiery Inferno. He had a Ponyta. He had a Rapidash. He had an Arcanine. And he
did have all those.
He did. And he also had a Growlithe, which is a card up on your wall right now, or B, a Flareon.
Again, I hate to keep going back to it, but I had this card.
I like that card.
Moltres.
That's a good card. I like that card up on your wall over that Growlithe.
Wait, is that one of the answers?
Is this your first time? Yes, that's one of the answers.
We're going to go Growlithe?
Then, boy, howdy, you'd be correct.
Nice.
I couldn't have force-fed that to you more if I fucking tried.
Well, to be honest, I forgot which ones you said because you just gave me like 5 fucking names and I can't remember them all.
Oh, I mean, I like to give you the full lineup. I'm not just... Well, I guess these next 2 are the exception to the rule because we're getting into Elite 4 territory. You're 3 for 5. You just need 1 more. Okay, so now we're to the Elite 4.
I just need 1 more to be slightly above average.
Hey,
not to be good.
Slightly above average is still above average. All right?
Yeah.
You know what they call the guy who graduated at the bottom of his class at the doctor's university?
I think you've told this joke before.
Yeah, they call him a doctor.
Yep.
See, exactly. C's get degrees, bud. Number 6, Bruno. This is one of the Elite 4 guys. Bruno had 2 of what type of Pokemon? Machamp or an Onix?
I don't fucking know. Onyx?
Yes! You got it. He had a level 53 and a level 56.
What's the point in that?
Of having two of the same?
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ask him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, you win. You got 4 out of 6 so far. Let's see if we can top it off. Number 7, Agatha, also in the Elite Four, had 2 of what type of Pokemon? Did she have 2 Haunters or did she have 2 Gengars?
God damn, I'm stupid because I forgot the first one you said. Whichever one you said first.
I want to clip that and use that as like my new text alert. Just god damn, I'm stupid. Okay, did she have 2 Haunters or 2 Gengars?
Haunters.
She had 2 Gengars.
Damn it.
She had a level 56 and a level 60.
Fuck it, I still win.
Yeah, you do still win. 4 out of 7. All right.
I'll take it.
Play the music. This is where you play it. Are you actually playing the music at this part when you win, or are you just like Oh yeah, you really
I did one time.
Oh, one time? I'm not just like talking over it and just hoping that you play the music and I sound like a moron.
Well, you kind of do sound like a moron.
Well, I mean, that's fair. All right, so another week, another win.
Not quite.
Yeah, you won like 3 of the last 4.
Except for the one because the ones we did with Kyle, I lost both of those.
Well, those were the duels. I mean, and they were also out of 10 and not out of 7. So those are a little harder.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
Yes,
it doesn't.
I'm trying to make you feel better here.
It doesn't.
Well, that's a you problem.
All right, you want to jump into our main topic for the day?
Yes, with Thanksgiving coming up.
Yep.
We want
our
to talk
top
about
7 thankfuls.
Oh, we're supposed to do a top 7.
Oh God, what are we doing?
I have like 15 things on here.
Oh shit!
I have like 15 games I'm thankful for.
Okay, so you just want to do like a general topic discussion type thing?
Well, how about what is something in the video game realm? What is something you are thankful for?
Oh, let's look at my list here. So we're not doing top. We're not naming them in order.
I think we could just I want to throw stuff out there. I mean, I don't really have an order. I just have a whole bunch of stuff on here, and there's a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about. Like just stuff about like how my video game past came about and, you know, what I remember from my childhood. And
okay, so one of the things I got here on my list are strategy guides.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm kind of dumb when it comes to games. I think this is like a reoccurring theme. Like, yes, I'm just fucking stupid.
If you can't tell, I told you at the beginning, he's forgotten more than you'll ever forget.
Yeah. I don't think that's what you said, but yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Forgotten more than you'll ever forget?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. I said.
See, I'm so fucking stupid, I don't even remember.
The man who's forgotten more than you'll ever forget.
I do have a college degree, though. I mean, that probably doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's one more college degree than I have, so.
Yeah. So, strategy guides. I don't use them a ton in games. When I need them, I do. Probably the most recent one I'm thinking is Link's Awakening.
Oh,
Switch.
Okay.
It was just so confusing especially like the trade sequence, like where to go for what and what to do next. It just seems so messy. But more so the old school strategy guides I liked. I just liked having the physical book. One of them I remember having was for Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Oh, okay.
And it was just nice to know like where the different items were, what exactly they did, how much HP each enemy had. Then, you know, I'd sit there with my calculator and, you know, like, okay, I just did 73 damage. So, you know, 5,000 minus 73. But
which is 4,927, by the way.
Okay, so
you got a long way to go.
I'm thinking, okay, I want to pick that up just to have it.
Right.
You know, the actual strategy guide from it. And looked it up on eBay. It's like fucking $100.
$100?
Yeah.
Are strategy guides even?
So I bought like 3 of them.
Maybe.
And, no, yeah, that's too much.
Are they even made anymore? Like for as much?
They're not. So I listened to this podcast called Remember the Game.
Yes.
And
shout out to them.
Shout us out, please.
Right. Yeah.
And he recently had somebody on who used to write strategy guides. And he wrote for Prima, I think was one of the bigger ones. And and I think Prima bought out the one he worked for. Anyway, and they started like kind of going out of business, I think in the mid 2010s. So they lasted a lot longer than what you think they would.
Yeah. Well,
but the internet kind of ruined it. And this dude, I forget his name, but he wrote a book about his time writing strategy guides too.
Yeah.
Actually, and I listened to the book. I'm going to look it up real quick. so I
Did
could
did he
shout out the name of the book.
did he like have to like sit and like basically dissect the game and then write the strategy guide for it? That would be an absolute tits job to have.
It's called The Walkthrough, and his name's Doug Walsh.
Doug Walsh.
And yeah, it was a good book. I enjoyed listening to it. But yeah, like you sit down and play through the game and, spend a lot of time. And you say it would be a tits job, but I would think it would kind of ruin the hobby because you're just trying to dissect it so much and it would kind of take the enjoyment out of it.
Well, if you're playing games that I think you don't really like get into that much, it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you a random like if I'm excited for Metroid Dread, I may not dissect Metroid Dread, but if you give me a game that maybe I'm like, yeah, like Fable. I know Kyle's gonna listen to this and he's gonna cringe, but like I've never played Fable before.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Damn it, Cap.
So wouldn't that make it worse though? Like if it's a game you're not into as much that you have to spend so much time with it, dissecting it?
Well, you don't have to worry about it. Like, how much would it take you to dissect a full game? Like Fable's a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen strategy guides for like all kinds of huge games. I did have one strategy guide, and this is kind of I'm bringing this full circle. I had one strategy guide growing up. I had the strategy guide for Twisted Metal Black, which is in comparison to like Grand Theft Auto or Fable or like any kind of the Zelda games, is a relatively small game.
Yeah.
And I think that would be easy. Like, 'cause I picked that game apart. I beat that game with every character. I found all the unlockables. I've watched all the movie sequence things. I basically, I 100%ed that game. And I also 100%ed like Spyro 2. So I feel like, but I didn't have the strategy guide for Spyro 2. I just had to figure that out. But that's the only strategy guide I ever had.
Yeah, it was a lot harder back in the day. I mean, not only because the games were harder back in the day, but if you didn't have the strategy guide, like you couldn't just look it up online.
Right.
You just had to get good.
You get good, scrub.
But what do you got on your list?
A couple of the games that I have on here, I'll kind of give it to you in chunks. And I have games on here that really had a big impact on like my childhood that I'm thankful for. Mario World is on here because according to my aunt, that was the first video game I ever played. And she remembers me playing that game when I was 2.
See, people talk about like, oh, this was the first video game that I ever played, and this is the memory I had. And obviously, like, you don't remember, like, oh, this was the first video game I had played because you said according to your aunt. Like, I don't fucking remember that either.
I thought my first video game I ever played was Twisted Metal 2. And I remember playing that when I was 5 or 6. That's the first game I actually like remembered playing because I remember my uncles were big into video games. I remember watching them play video games all the time and loved just hanging out with them watching video games because I remember watching them playing Seventh Saga, which really
I didn't know that because you talked about doing an RPG based on like a tabletop RPG based on Seventh Saga.
Yes,
I didn't know it went back that far for you.
Yeah, it went back to actually. What's funny is I'll tell you the story. We used to have this teddy bear that we took home when we were in kindergarten, and every kid got to take teddy bear home for like a day or whatever. And you had to write what you did with your teddy bear that day. Oh, we went to eat here. We went to go hang out with friends. We went to my grandma's house or whatever. I wrote in my journal, shout out Tyler Teddy. I wrote in my book that I went to my grandma's house to watch my uncles play Seventh Saga. And that just always stuck with me. And I feel like that was always a game that, they loved. I think they've actually beaten that, which is actually, Seventh Saga is a brutally hard game. It is a brutally hard game.
I've never played it. This is like an RPG?
Yes.
Okay, so you have said that you don't like RPGs.
Right.
But you like this.
Yes.
Is it just because you have that emotional connection to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's exactly that because I remember seeing things in the game that I remember seeing when I was younger. So that's just some of the very first, memories I've had of games, between Super Mario World, Seventh Saga, and Twisted Metal 2.
2 years old, you're playing Super Mario World.
It was meant to be.
Nice.
It was meant to be. So what's something you had on your list? What was next on your list?
Well, talk about Super Mario World. I had Shigeru Miyamoto because he's brought us the Mario franchise.
Yeah.
Zelda. Those he doesn't create those games now, but he started that franchise with the Zelda and the Mario. And those are still games that are very relevant today that I still play today.
Oh yeah,
Breath of the Wild and being the latest Zelda release.
and Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey, yeah. Which you don't like.
I didn't not like it. I just wasn't a fan, and it just was a little overdone for me.
That's semantics.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but like,
well, I didn't hate it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I hate Mario Odyssey. Brr, brr, brr. But
did you like? Well, so you like your Mario 2D? Is that fair to say? No, because you like Sunshine. Right?
Sunshine was fun. I didn't beat Sun. No, it was Galaxy. Sunshine was fun. I love Super Mario Galaxy. I still to this day think Super Mario Galaxy might be probably the most beautiful game I've ever played. Just the most aesthetically pleasing game I've ever played.
Galaxy? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Because I don't think I've been blown away by a game with like big, and it wasn't like graphically wise. It wasn't like pristine graphically wise, but just colorful. Sharp colors, great contrast. Great worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It was just aesthetically pleasing. And then the music in the background was a full orchestra. Like you couldn't beat it. That game was beautiful. And then the game, another thing is beautiful was Symphony of the Night. Like I thought that was a beautiful game too, but it was beautiful in its own right. But yeah, I mean, I do prefer the 2D games over the 3D games, but I mean, I do like a good 3D game every once in a while.
Did you play 64?
I got into 64 a little bit, not too much. I think I played it for a few hours whenever I got it on the 3-pack re-release for the Switch, the Classic Edition.
Mm-hmm. Did you get sidebar here? Did you get the N64 online? Have you gotten that yet?
Not yet. I think I may get that because I kind of want to get a controller for that and maybe do that after the first of the year. And then I'm also thinking to myself, is it worth it? Because like I already have the Banjo-Kazooie.
No, let's not do that.
Throwback. It's like, I have 64, besides for Star Fox, like what else? I mean, what else is there to play on the 64 that was there? And then I have all the Sega collection. Well, I guess,
but if you're not a Zelda fan.
Okay, well, a 3D, like I said, the 3D Zeldas I haven't tried except for Breath of the Wild, and I thought Breath of the Wild was fucking phenomenal.
Have you beat that?
No.
Yeah, it takes some time.
I got 30 hours into Breath of the Wild, and I think Breath of the Wild is
and you playing an open world
beautiful.
Game 30 hours, you're like probably 5% in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And that's why like streaming it is a problem because if I want to, the only time I ever get, because of my 2 kids, the only time I ever get to play video games is when I'm streaming. And if I'm going to stream a game like that, then I'm going to have to delve like basically 2 whole months into it. And I don't know if I want to do that.
No, that would get kind of old on the stream.
Right.
People probably want to see new things and whatnot.
Exactly. Yes.
But no. So like if you sign up for the expansion pack on the Switch, it prorates it because you've already paid the $20 for the full year.
Right. Yeah.
So I think I only paid $40, like $42 maybe. And so I have it for the next year, only paying like $42.
Oh, not bad.
You should get it so we can play Star Fox 64.
Star Fox 64, yeah.
So what do you got on your list?
The next thing I have on my list that I think is it's kind of funny, but it's kind of heartfelt. I have I don't know which one it was. I have one of the original PlayStation demo discs.
Toomba?
Well, it's funny you say that. It had Toomba on it, which is where I fell in love with Toomba. It also had the original Tekken on it with 2 fighters on it. That was the only video game I ever played with my stepdad.
Oh, we're going there.
That was kind of a heartfelt one, but yeah. Those demo discs, I remember when we first got the PlayStation at our house, like he played it too. And I didn't know he was a gamer, like at heart, because like he was always saying, oh, video games, this, video games, that. I went back a few years later and I found the booklet that he had to NASCAR 98. He had so many notes in that book of like how he wanted his suspension and his tire pressure and, how soon he wanted to switch gears on his car. He had so many notes. I was astonished.
The Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
I think that is great for retro games.
It is.
I mean, not only like we're just talking about the expansion pack, say what you will about the price and whatnot. You could still play older games on the go with the N64 and the Genesis. It's got the Super Nintendo online, the NES online, but then all these collections they come out with. They got, the Mega Man collection,
Castlevania
collection,
just the Sega Genesis collection. They had the Contra collection. Yes.
Yeah. And the They got Spyro and
Uh,
Crash Bandicoot. Like, dude, it is a great system for retro gaming.
it absolutely is, which
So
is
I'm thankful for that.
it's funny because I think they said like I read a graph somewhere and I wanted to, it was a good thing you said it because I wanted to bring it up. I saw a graphed. Ugh. I saw a graph of like the age differential of people that are buying Nintendo Switches. Early 30s is like the third highest demographic
Hmm.
for people who are buying the Nintendo Switch, behind like early 20s and mid 20s. And it kind of like goes up and it peaks at like early 20s and it kind of goes down a little bit. But there are people, there's like an actually huge number, like 50 or 60 years old, that are buying Nintendo Switches. I don't know if they're buying them for their kids or if they're buying them for themselves, but I thought that was actually a really like astonishing list. Like 30 to 33 years old was like the second or third highest for demographic, which is, I don't know if that's what they were aiming for. You almost had to think so with the old Nintendo collections coming out, right? You had to think that's the age demographic they were aiming for.
Maybe. I think Nintendo always kind of aims for the younger demographic though. And I think they maybe just kind of fell into, the nostalgia factor.
And that's exactly, I was gonna say, nostalgia is a weird drug, man.
It is.
But no, you're absolutely right. Like it is a system that is pristine, ready to be like take you back to like summer of 1998 if you're like our age, which makes me 8 years old. Which is funny you say that because I have
So
a
hold up really quick. You're talking about nostalgia and the Switch and talk about games we were playing when we were 8 years old. GTA collection coming out.
oh, daddy.
So I think it releases November 11th digitally and December 7th physical. And they're remastered. They look good. Have you seen pictures from it?
I have.
It looks good.
Yes. And that's what I was hoping for. Like when we were talking about games that need redone. That's what I was talking about. Like you don't dick with the storyline. You don't dick with the main component. You just change the ingredients and make it look a little nicer. And they did it. They patched it. They textured it. And it looks phenomenal.
It does.
And I cannot wait. I just didn't know that it was going to be digitally this soon. And I still got to wait a whole month to get the actual physical copy of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
That
waiting for
sucks.
the physical copy.
That sucks. And I am hoping they have a option for streamers.
Oh, with the music. Well, see, yeah, that's probably a problem with the DCMA. Is that the right
Yes.
letters? Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet if all the original music is still in the game.
Really?
I don't think they've come out and said it yet. Which, if they haven't come out and said it, it would make you think that it's not.
Well, you'd almost have to think like, once you give them the rights to, let's say you and I made a song and Rockstar called us up and said, "Hey, we're going to put this in our game." We can't just revoke that later, right?
Well, no, there's probably language in the contract saying it's for this one game, this one release.
Oh man, but they'll be getting kickbacks and royalties from that, right? Why would you want it to be pulled?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just don't like how much they're getting paid. I don't know.
GTA is like one of the best-selling series ever.
Yeah.
So people are going to flock to this. So if you have a song that you like, if you're a one-hit wonder on GTA 3 and you got a chance to get like a $20,000 royalty check, why would you do it?
You think that's how much it is?
Let's assume it's going to sell what, 2 million copies? Probably.
I would think it would sell more than that. I know absolutely nothing. I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but I think it's going to sell more. I think it's going to sell more than 2 million copies.
More than 2 million?
Yeah.
Because I know that I think they said like recent Mega Man games sold like we hit the 2 million mark. So
you're comparing GTA to Mega Man.
Well,
fuck off.
Well, I'm talking like recently, and they're
like
saying
11?
2 million is a lot. So I don't know if there's that's when you really have to tickle nostalgia for, because if there's kids these days that were growing up playing 5 or even 4, yeah, you're excited for San Andreas. I'm excited for 3, but I don't know. Like, are they aiming for younger demographics to go play the original Grand Theft Auto games?
I don't think so. Just because I think these, like when you were a kid, when you were like 17, 18 years old, you didn't necessarily go back and play the NES games if you didn't have nostalgia for them.
Fair.
Right. So I think that you're probably going after the people who played them when they're younger. Because I don't think like these kids who like GTA 5 was their first game, they don't want to, it's like downgrading. like going back to Vice City or San Andreas, you're definitely 3.
Right, and that's why I'm asking. It's like, is that gonna be a problem?
Oh, with sales? That's a good point.
Like, 'cause Mario can hit the nostalgic bone. You know, the Zelda games can hit the nostalgia bone. Can GTA do the same thing?
For sure. Yeah.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Especially releasing them in a trilogy like this. Yeah.
I could agree with you there. Which is actually GTA 3 was one of the first games I had for the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told this because the year, I think it was '02 or '03, where I got the PS2 for Christmas. My parents got me like Madden '05 and Need for Speed Underground and, games that are like, E for everyone or teen. And then under the table, my uncles and aunt got me Twisted Metal Black and GTA 3.
Nice. Yeah, you could always depend on aunts and uncles for that.
Oh my god, my aunts and uncles were great. Like they're bigger gamers than I am. I remember there was one time where it was us 5. So I have 3 uncles and 1 aunt, and then there's me. We were
One,
all
two,
5 of us were
three,
on
4, 5. Okay.
all
Your
5.
math checks out.
Well, cuz there's 5 siblings in my family, but my mom doesn't play video games. So oftentimes when we're doing something like when we went to go see Mystery Science Theater live,
Mm-hmm.
it was my 4 aunts and uncles, and like I took the place of my mom. It's because we all love the same things. Like there was all 5 of us on Xbox Live together at the same time doing different shit, and I took a picture of it, and I was like squad goals. It was awesome.
What else you got?
Actually, that was one of them because Twisted Metal Black, GTA
What, your
3.
aunts and uncles?
Yeah, them getting that for me, and then all the hours I spent playing the Gears trilogy with my aunt. So I'm talking hours and hours. Her and I think completely 100%ed all 3 of the original Gears of War games, and then played them like the death matches and stuff.
That's cool.
I'm talking hours. There was one summer. Her and I said it was the greatest summer ever because she had broken her leg, so she couldn't really get out of the house.
Sounds great so far.
Yeah, and I was unemployed.
Sounds even better.
So like we would just hang out. Like I always tell her all the time, like, "Hey, remember that time you broke your leg and I was unemployed?" And she's like, "Yeah." And we would like sit and play Gears of War for like 5 hours every night. And I was like, "Yeah," and it was awesome.
Take me back to being jobless.
I wish sometimes. I'm tired of waking up at 5:30. So you got one more for me? I got one more I really want to talk about, and then if you got one more, I got one more. Then we'll just put a big old bow on this turd sandwich.
Well, let me mention this one really quick. Then I got another one. But to piggyback off my last one being the Nintendo Switch, I'm going to say the mini consoles. You know, the classics.
Yes.
You know, the
Yes.
Super Nintendo, the NES, the Genesis, the PS1. It's just a great way to keep retro gaming alive.
Yes.
What are you laughing about?
How I got my NES Classic.
Your uncle? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think you told the story, yeah.
I still to this day, well, hey, Uncle Steve, how'd you get your hands on this? Don't worry about it. Okay, thanks. I'm going to go play Metroid now.
And to add to that, I'm going to say something else I'm thankful for is emulators.
Ooh.
Now, I know some people just fucking hate them. It's not pure, it's stealing, all that, right?
Right.
As far as emulating a game, if you cannot buy, Super Mario World brand new and give Nintendo their money. So if you emulate it, you're not really stealing from Nintendo.
Fair.
I'm sure somebody could poke a hole in that logic somewhere, but I'm going to go with it because it makes me feel okay about doing it.
And you can't play games like Panic Restaurant. That's like a $500 to $1,000 game.
Yeah, or Chrono Trigger, some of these games are, and that's another great point. Some of these games are just so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
There's no way you could plausibly just go out and buy it.
Little Samson.
Little Samson. And
you can't find these games.
Those are the extremes too.
Right.
Like there's so many games that are, $50, $100, $200.
But the problem is like Chrono Trigger is a really expensive game, but it's one of the greatest games ever made.
You can't go and buy it. Fucking emulate it.
Do it.
Do it. There's no shame in doing it.
No. I mean, if you want to play the game, now I try to stay away from emulating games on stream. Like if I want to play the game, I at least try to make sure I have the physical copy or I'm playing it off of the collection.
Why?
I feel like that's a little, I don't know. Like I want to at least make sure if I'm streaming it, like if I'm playing it just for my own personal benefit, yeah, I'll emulate it. But if I'm like broadcasting it. I don't know. There's some kind of stigma attached to it.
Is this just with you or across the like Twitch community?
I'm sure if you ask, you're gonna get like a 50-50 of people saying, "Nah, I don't give a shit," it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the other 50% is like, maybe it's, better if you actually own the game. It's a little more trustworthy or whatnot.
What's the problem? What's the stigma?
I guess I don't know. Stigma. I mean, I really, I don't know.
Just
Like,
feels weird.
it does. I mean, because literally, like, I could get my hands on any game ever that I want to.
And that's a problem?
Well, if I'm playing it for my own personal benefit, but if I'm streaming it, that's where it gets a little sticky.
Why? Like you're saying, hey, look, Nintendo, I stole this game from you.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. I guess my conscience kind of acts up a little bit.
Said you got one more?
Yeah. Well, I got a couple. I got two more, and it's games that, like, all the hours you and I played Halo 3 together. Those were like online multiplayer would be one that I'd be thankful for, just because like all the hours you and I played Halo 3. And then the last one is Pitfall.
Pitfall?
The old game for the original Atari 2600.
Why?
That was the one video game system my grandma and grandpa Weldy had. And my grandpa Weldy and I would play Pitfall, and I think we played boxing some too. And I mean, that was, man, he passed away when I was 18. But all the years I went to his house when I was like 5, 6, 7, we would just play that Atari just for hours. And it was great. And I loved every bit of it. And it was that one game that him and I played together that I just distinctly remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the old Pitfall for the Atari 2600.
Nice. I like how your list is sentimental.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's, if I didn't have those games, I don't know if I'd have these memories. Like, I didn't even get into, like, Zombies Ate My Neighbors or Super Mario 3. Like, those were games that I played the entire summer of 98. Whenever I tease about the summer of 98, which may have been, like, the best summer ever, when I was at my dad's house, I would sit in his big, like, sunroom and play Zombies Ate My Neighbors and just eat, like, McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have, like, a cheeseburger, fries, and then have, like, a giant orange crush high C. And I would sit in the sunroom at his bar that he had. It was a beautiful day outside, but I wanted no part of that. I would sit inside and play Zombies Ate My Neighbors on his TV. But, like, I remember going up to large city near where we live and buying Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the first time and driving home with it and reading the pamphlet and the box art and then finally playing that game. And it was just amazing. Like, because that's why, I don't know if that's why Zombies is my favorite game of all time, but actually going to an old video game, like a Walmart or like a Sam's Club or a Meijer or something like that, and going into the video games, because video game sections aren't what they used to be.
No, they had you'd strain your neck to look up at the the TV,
the demos and shit. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yep.
It was, but going in there and buying Zombies Ate My Neighbors from behind the glass.
Yeah.
And then taking it home and reading the instruction manual. It was great. It was
that
a great
was so
time.
much hype reading the instruction manual.
Right, yes.
It just gets you so fucking hyped for the game. And you don't have that anymore. I mean, I guess you could kind of compare it to like trailers.
Yeah, but
if you watch trailers, it's not the same.
I remember I used to take all those booklets to school, and when I was bored in class, I would just whip it out and be like, yeah, I had all the booklets to all the Twisted Metal games, and I would just read all the pamphlets of the Twisted Metal games and all the instruction booklets and stuff. Like, video games is a integral part of my life, and like these little memories were just fantastic. And all you and I do in this podcast and all this kind of stuff, I'm just so grateful for.
One might say you're thankful.
Yes, you might say I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for you out there listening to this dumpster fire of a podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is a good one.
It was. Tell us what you're thankful for.
Just in general?
No, the people we're talking to right now. You tell, not you, Nicholas. The people listening, reach out to us, Eric and Nick, and tell us what you're thankful for.
I thought we were doing like a Dora the Explorer thing where we're like, tell us what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for that too, waiting for them to answer.
No, that's not what we're doing.
They're gonna be like, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for that too. I'm thankful for your family
All right,
too.
let's do it. And you out there listening, tell us what you're thankful for. And we're thankful for
I'm
that too.
too. For that too.
Oh,
Yes,
dude,
indeed.
I counted down so we could do it at the same time.
I know. I went off cadence.
Oh, okay.
I went off cadence on purpose to piss you off.
All right, let's end this.
All right. So thank you for hanging out with us. Eric over there. You can hit us up. Our Twitter handle is at retro_smash, where you can hop into our Discord and come chat with us straight up. I am Weldy Time. You can catch me on Twitch Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. And Thursday, I do community nights where we play Jackbox games if they don't get absolutely out of hand like they did this past Thursday. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, and join us next time when Eric is going to tell us just how he stuffs his turkey. And it is X-rated. Bye, kids.